Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the 8:28 news.
Just about.
I'm pouring straight away because it's
Oh,
there.
boring.
I can't do the Zoom in today because we're far away at the news desk because we have a guest.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Does
guest
that make me the roving correspondent?
Yes, we talked about this beforehand. You need a wig and a fan for like extreme weather. Have you got a cat that you can put on your head?
That's some extreme weather.
It's raining cats.
Why is he? Because he's still inside. Why is there weather?
I think it was more the concept of us being in the
extreme
studio and Sean being remote. But anyway, should we do it?
Roving reporter Trisha Takanawa. But today we have the Spreadsheet Kidd, who's real,
See, he's an actual person.
and the spreadsheet is up to date.
So Carl reckons I don't count as a viewer because I'm staff.
No, Summers is the viewer, and
This is the viewer. I'm the staff.
Kidd is staff. He's on staff.
And I'm going to indulge in a tall boy wingman.
He does count as a viewer though. Like his numbers count because he has to watch to update the spreadsheet. And I'm counting.
I watch every episode in full. I don't fast forward to the end to find out the rankings. I watch the whole darn thing.
Oh, that's really good.
Today I am drinking Retro Racer from Neon Raptor.
So thank you very much, Carl, for sending me this. Num 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 num.
The rest of the Neon Raptor stuff is phenomenally sour.
Really?
And
I
aggressive.
don't know if all their beers are sour, but the ones
I did order sour beers, so that's why.
But this one is not sour, although it's got like the racy person from Tron, or one of them.
No, not Tron, because it's not an officially endorsed product.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Trin.
Wingman's good.
Yeah, it's not just the can.
Is that the first time you've ever tried Wingman?
To my knowledge, yeah.
Ah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I approve of it.
It's still quite sour. It's on a hoppy side of an IPA.
It's hoppy. It's not very boozy. It's a delicious 4.6%. And the words are great. Do you want to read the words? They're excellent words.
Retro Racer is the fastest game at the arcade. It's soft and light pale ale, full of Simcoe and Vic Secret hops. It'll race you to a retro future. What's a Vic Secret hop? Because Vic Secret sounds like a strip club owner.
How's it spelled?
Belongs in like Grim Fandango or something.
Secret.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Victoria's Secret, right?
Does she do hops?
Are we that familiar with Victoria or Victoria's Secret that we just called
I walked past one of her shops today. Victoria's Secret Pink. I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was by Heather Crud. They credit the artwork. That's
nice.
on the cap.
That's good of them. And also, it's the thing we love. This is a sticker on can, so you could just tear it off and look like you're drinking beer in the future.
Future beer.
And this beer appears to only have very natural ingredients. There's no additives to this beer.
Well, you shouldn't really put additives in your beer.
No, but a lot of the other beers have much longer ingredients lists.
Well, they have like fruit and sour shit.
Although I get the impression Neon Raptor is a bunch of guys in their garage making beer, so maybe they just don't know what else.
Do you reckon if we send them a link to a couple of these episodes, they'll think we're great and invite us up to go and visit the brewery?
Oh, we could do brewery visits.
Yeah.
We could go as like a full team. So like you could be there, you could have Summers as cameraman, me there with my tablet with the spreadsheet up at the ready.
Two of us have to stay in the van.
We need to make a quick getaway.
We need a TV van
with a little dome on top.
That's how Summers gets a job. He can drive the van.
Yeah. He needs to bring back Aurora, TV Aurora.
He's good at driving vans, apart from when he crashed into his bookshop and shut it down.
He did what? I don't think I've heard that story.
No, I think I made it up, but now
I
might believe it's true.
Now it's canon.
Just spin the wheel.
We should. Well, we should say that there's been no new things added to the wheel. No one's added anything else.
There's lots on the wheel.
There's already quite a lot on there, and we need to say what the best and worst things in the world are because they changed last week. Well, one of them did.
They did.
The worst thing in the world, I'm pretty sure, is still Lost Guava.
Fucking awful hate juice. Yep.
Lost Lager. The new bestest thing in all of existence is.
It is Oxford.
It is Oxford.
The city thereof. Dream inspires and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Spreadsheet Kidd is so elite, he does spreadsheets on his phone.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know I was doing this, so I didn't bring a laptop or a tablet, just a phone and a Kindle. But what I can tell you from the spreadsheet, because the spreadsheet now has multiple tabs. So we have retained the Advent calendar summary as a separate tab, just so you can remember the shenanigans that were December 2023.
I'm sorry, what, the shenanigans?
The shenanigans. Sorry, am I slurring already after 3 sips of beer? Must try harder.
Spreadsheet Kidd is not a drinker.
No, Spreadsheet Kidd is very much not a drinker. But we also have a tab to track on a weekly basis the 3 new topics that are rated. So, for example, I can tell you that in episode 20, we considered Gen X, Wales, and Caramel. Gen X came out on top, followed by Wales and then Caramel. And last week in episode 21, we covered Oxford, England, and Top Gun Maverick. Oxford coming in number 1, England number 2, and Top Gun Maverick number 3. I'm not aware of any contention over their ratings. I don't recall.
No, we don't normally have contention. We're very diplomatic people.
You just ignore it all.
Yeah, no. We go for, if we're very far apart on our ratings, we just go for the middle point, which means often neither of us are happy, and that's fine.
That's compromise.
The spirit of compromise has been a beautiful thing to watch. I will say there's been very little.
Who we are.
Friction.
We're lovely people.
Process.
Yeah. There's a lot of trust here that we'll do the right thing.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, shall we spin the wheel?
Let's.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Where's the? I can't. We've lost the fucking wheel. It's here somewhere. Wheel. Right. Wheel. Ha.
Says. Can you start putting credits on the end of this, where you're the best boy and the gaffer and visual effects and all that stuff as well?
Am I just all of the things?
Pretty much.
Apart from you're not the data analyst and you're not the van driver.
That's true. That's true. Right. Wheel.
Yeah.
Wheel. Excellent.
Update the spreadsheet in real time.
Yeah. We'll
anything you're looking forward to? Anything you hope we roll today?
I hope we don't roll one of the gross roast dinner beers because I already have a beer now.
Well, if we roll it, we have to drink it because it's the rules. All right, I'm going to spin that wheel. Ready? Oh, here we go.
It was already spinning for me. Do you mean stop the wheel?
No, here we go.
Kind of rotating and then
It's going to be...
It's gone all like the time tunnel.
How many FPS are we witnessing here?
Pompey.
Portsmouth.
Okay. This could get interesting. All right. So first up, Portsmouth.
Pompey.
Yeah. Then we've got. Would be a nice match for Portsmouth. It's going to be.
That's tape I just saw.
Oh, you've got to eat some, haven't you?
I might have to eat one. Yeah. All right, chili peppers, and finally, it's. Oh,
Under Siege.
Brilliant movie.
The first and last good Steven Seagal.
When was the last time we watched it?
I haven't
It's been
seen
a while.
It's
been.
I feel like we
bunch of
did
times.
watch it.
We've
We
watched-
did one of our geek trilogy. When we watched like 3,
No.
1 child friendly, 1 genuinely good, and then 1 we've had enough beers that it would be bad film.
No, I think
Did
it
we not
was
do it
drunk.
for
I think it was watched drunk at a geek event, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a movie night per se.
Yeah.
It's,
There's a film that I bet hasn't been released in 4K.
It's I hope it has been. It'd be awesome in 4K. But it's the one that makes you think Steven Seagal is going to be a really cool action hero.
Yeah.
Then,
And then every other film afterwards lets that down.
well, that and he also goes a bit crazy.
We didn't go too crazy for a while though, did he? He sort of held on to the just slightly, action guy, maybe a little bit, odd. But I feel like the crazy didn't really happen until the late 90s?
I think he's always been
Yeah.
crazy.
I
He
think
just
he's on
did it
peak
well.
Putin now.
Do you think he just hit it well? Well, didn't he
Yeah.
move to Russia for a while?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's our best buds. All right.
But
Well,
We're getting ahead of ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah.
First up was
Sorry.
Portsmouth. Pompey. Right. Why is Pompey on the wheel, Carl?
Because it's our home city. I was born there. I didn't live there, but I lived in the suburbs, so I sort of claim it was my home city.
Yeah. Same suburbs. You were Purbrook.
Definitely was born there in the hospital and lived there for a little bit as a tiny baby.
Yep, yep.
Where were you when you moved away?
Oh, under a year, I think.
And then from the suburbs?
No, because we moved way away to the West Country, and I came
Okay.
back to the vicinity when I was 7 or 8.
Okay.
No, you were older than that. You
no,
were 9 when
no,
you
we lived in Fareham before.
Oh, did you?
But Fareham is also arguably still Portsmouth.
Portsmouth
So-
adjacent.
Well, the suburb of Portsmouth. Yeah, I think I lived with my folks on Portsmouth on the island until I was about 2. Part of which was in an ex-brothel. So my dad had to kept like telling people to go away. Like furtive men would turn up, and he'd be like, "No, it's not that anymore."
Sean,
Yeah,
do you remember other ladies living there at the same time?
I don't think my dad was a pimp.
No,
Like
because
he certainly never
not if
wore.
it's a brothel, wouldn't that make him madame?
No, I think you're still a pimp. I think a pimp is like a dude madame. I don't think you can be like a male madame, or I don't think you could back in the day be a lady pimp. You probably can now.
I feel like a pimp implies you're a kind of on the streets delivery service.
Was it
Oh, you
location?
reckon?
Yeah, and like a
Based.
madame suggests that you have a place.
You have an abode.
Oh, we
He-
should invent something called hooker. Just
Hooker.
KR.
And it's just for
Or just
the ladies of the
HKR.
night.
Hooker. Ooh.
And I don't well, because that gets into like HK-47 kind of territory as well.
You don't want that turning up.
Hooker Assassins. That's a film I would watch.
But my dad
You know,
certainly
I
never used to
suspect
wear
that's
a
already
lot
been
of
made.
purple. Pretty sure he wasn't a pimp. He might have been. I'll ask him.
We should find out before we have to rate him.
He's not on the wheel yet.
Is he not? I thought he was.
No, it's been asked, but no one's put it in the
place.
put it in the right
Oh.
place.
Sean applies rules when it suits him.
I like the rules. I'm all about rules.
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth.
I have a fond memory of Portsmouth.
There is some good stuff. in
Yeah.
Portsmouth.
So when I was maybe 12 or so, and I was weirdly looking through photos of this the other day, my brother and I went with my grandparents to visit HMS Victory and the Mary Rose. And my grandfather bumped into someone he'd known from war, and we got taken behind the scenes.
The Napoleonic.
Yes, precisely. No, World War II. So
We served on Victory.
my grandfather flew Grumman TBM Avengers.
Very cool plane.
Although didn't see action. So he weirdly somehow went from learning to being an instructor, but this is a massive tangent. Regardless, he bumped into someone that he had served with who was working at the museum and took us behind the scenes at the Mary Rose. So I think they took us into what was probably the educational space, and we got to hold some cannonballs and sit with the cannon and some rope and bits and pieces. So it's a fond memory. And you and I have said before that we really ought to go and do a day.
The historic dockyard
Yeah.
is epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proper epic.
Cool.
You've got the armories over that way as well, haven't you?
Fort Nelson, that's on the hill.
Yeah. So Nelson, I went to last summer. That was good. That was a good day out.
We were
Yeah.
there a couple of weekends ago with the boys.
Oh, cool.
So there's a lot of cool history there, and the historic dockyard is pretty legendary. There's ships in there going back 500 years.
Yeah, when was the Mary Rose? I think that's probably the
So
oldest.
it's like 500. I think it's 15 something.
Yeah.
Sunk just off the coast of out of the harbour.
In
She
the
didn't
bank.
get very far, did
Didn't
she?
get very far.
No,
It's
uh,
right next to the active dockyard, so you'll typically have like HMS Victory
Yeah.
and a modern aircraft carrier and some destroyers.
Wasn't one of the Queen Elizabeth classes there just the other week?
They were both there.
They were
when
both there. Yes, they went out in tandem, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did not collide, which is probably for the best. That would have been very awkward.
I think they used tugs, which are listen. The problem with this other shit is they were letting it do its own thing.
Yeah. We might have discussed that before we went live. But,
Sorry, historic dockyard, big
yeah.
pro.
Yeah, strong pro. And there's a submarine museum just over the water.
Gosport,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's still part of
Yeah.
the historic dockyard, I think, or part of the Navy Museum
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, they've got an old Oberon
Yeah.
class there. I can't remember the name.
And then
It's not actually Oberon, is it?
where was the place that Sean went to when we were hiking? Burgers. Good burgers.
Mix
oh, mix.
on the hill.
Oh,
Legendary burger van.
oh,
Mick
mix.
goes wide and not deep.
It does. Yeah, the back.
That's a good strategy with a burger. Just go wider, flatten the bun.
That
None of that stupid crunchy naff stuff.
Brioche.
Bun. Brioche bun. No, give me a good soft, like enough mass to deal with the size of the burger.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyway,
So two
Burger's
good
good.
things.
Yeah.
Historic dockyard mix. It's on the sea, which is nice. Anyway,
It's
Yeah.
not a
You-
very nice
You were born
beach.
there.
I was born there. He was born there.
Sean was born there.
Yeah.
The list is totting up. We could just stop now and just pretend like Portsmouth is a great place.
My favourite story about Portsmouth, which will point us in the other direction, get off of this lovely stuff and get us into the real Portsmouth, as it were.
The grit.
The grit is during the let's call them the big paedophile scares of the mid noughties, when everyone was like, chase down the paedophiles, kill the paedophiles, bad paedophiles, which they're not great. There was a paediatrician in Portsmouth.
Oh, was that Portsmouth?
Yeah. And
I don't know this story.
Yeah.
and his office was like rocks were thrown and it's firebombed, and he was chased down the street and that because the good people of Portsmouth thought that a paediatrician and a paedophile were the same thing. And this guy, like, he had one of them brass plaques outside his office saying paediatrician. And my immediate first thought was, if they were the same thing, why would you advertise that?
Is there a law here, or is it somewhere else where people have to be informed if a sex offender lives there, or is that just from TV?
So in America, there's the whole the list is there for you to go check.
And that's it.
Here, there's things like I think you can ask about people.
But there's no law for them to have a brass plaque.
No.
I'm not aware of a brass plaque law. It's not like the little blue discs that you get on houses of historic. No, Roald Dahl lived here.
Yeah,
You don't
Dave
get,
the paedophile
Jimmy
lives
Savile
here.
was here.
No.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
No impressions on this.
So that was Portsmouth.
Yeah.
I fled as soon as I
He had,
could.
like in his office little qualifications.
Yeah,
No,
because
he's been to university of it.
he's been to a paediatrician school, presumably.
Pediatrics uni.
He's got his qualifications. Yeah, he's helped all kinds of people.
Well,
Yeah. I did leave Portsmouth as quickly as I possibly could. Like when I was of age, I was like, Sean gone.
it's got a reasonable university.
Well, you have to say that. It's your alma mater.
I did go there.
Yeah.
And look how well you turned
And I
out.
got a good degree
Yeah.
and a reasonable job.
Mhm.
How much do you use your degree in your current job?
All the time now, because you can.
Yeah, I definitely use my 1 year of university extensively.
Hey, he did build a building in Oxford that's next door to a much better building.
I've run past that building on
buildings
on
if you
occasion.
built. You just planned them.
Sandcastles don't count, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
Sandcastles, you can't build them in Portsmouth because it's a pebble beach. Yeah.
you're giving me shit about university, both of you. I didn't.
I went to
Yeah.
music college for a while.
Do you have like a diploma or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got I have somewhere. I have
You always used to say to me, I've got grade 8 in drums, and that means I can teach.
Oh no, I did used to teach drums for a bit. To do that. I mean, you can have grade 8 in drums and have zero patience with anyone and not teach drums.
Also, don't think you have to have grade 8 to be a.
no, anyone can be a drum teacher.
Yeah. I mean, it would be useful, I'm sure.
Sean was making out to me that if you've got a grade 8 in drums, you're basically the chap from Rush.
Well, no, so I'm sure.
No.
My trumpet teacher when I was young probably had a grade 8 in trumpet, but he definitely didn't have grade 8 in euphonium. And
I
he was-
misheard that as crumpet. My
Yeah,
crumpet
well,
teacher when I was
My
younger.
trumpet teacher.
All of
Oh,
that
I
sounded-
make good trumpets.
All of that sounded like a sex story.
Yeah.
No. But I have to say, every time I go back to Portsmouth and like sit up on the hill and look over the city, especially at night, and you just think, there's something there. There's some kind of something pulling me back, you know?
You do get, I'm up from by Mix and Fort Nelson, because I spent a bit of time there last summer, obviously. You do get a good view down into the harbour, and
Oh,
it's
it's epic.
pretty. They've
Isle of Wight in the distance.
development in the centre of town, haven't they? There's sort of nice shopping district, restaurants, all that kind of stuff.
Tower.
Yeah, is it Spinnaker Tower?
It was going to be called the Millennium Tower, but
Yeah.
they didn't finish it in time for the Millennium, so it became Spinnaker Tower.
We were down there on like it was either Millennium Eve or a day before or something. We were down there. It was about a meter out of the water. You think, yeah, they're not going to make that in time, are they?
Although it was pretty cool built, and they did slip from the concrete very rapidly
Ooh.
when they erected it.
I've still not been up it. Have you?
Not been up it though.
No.
Weirdly, I haven't been by it a million times.
But you can see it from the Isle of Wight, which is quite cool.
Portsmouth
And
is quite
thing
an
of-
aggressive place.
You what?
It's quite an aggressive place.
Yeah.
Weird. There's quite a lot of folk in Didcot who either grew up in Portsmouth or Southampton, and I have borne witness to the conflict that brings.
This is Didcot full of expats from the coast.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Well,
I mean, got one here.
I think the reason why it was quite conflicty though is because you had, on the one hand, you had the biggest council estate in Europe in Lee Park.
Is that the one we walked through?
yes.
Like,
Did you ran through it very quickly so no one
One
nicked
with
your
the
train?
burnt bikes and the one with the pub where they actually all stopped to look at us when we walked in.
But we won them over.
Yeah, they were friendly after that. They were actually lovely people, but they literally did. It was a small boozer, very local one, and we walked in and the doors basically swung and everyone stopped and looked at us.
Yeah, there was like
One guy was like, "Have you been hiking? You look like you're going camping."
Yeah.
And it was very aggressive. And then he realized how aggressive it sounded. He was like, but then he was very friendly.
It's
So
yeah,
it's
like, be honest, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, have some crisps.
If there had been
Yes.
a piano, someone would have stopped playing it.
So you got all the Lee Park lot on one side, and then you've also got, it's a university town, so there's loads of students, and then you've also got like the Navy, because it's the home of the Navy, and it's
what do they call
a
them?
big old mountain pot of
Matlows, that's it. Yeah.
yeah. So often you would go out clubbing of an evening, and there'd just be like, I can count on not my hands because too many times the amount of times I was out, and you'd have some like sailors clubbing, woo, and then just there'd be a big ruck outside and a bunch of like whatever the Navy equivalent of MPs is, probably still MPs, came and like beat 7 shades out of all of the sailors and dragged them back to their barracks.
So you know how in World War II the British men struggled a bit because the American pilots came over and they had chocolate and all sorts of wonderful things to steal away our
Nylons.
Yeah.
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 What the ladies like.
Did you get that in Portsmouth with the sailors being like, well, I've just been to this fantastically interesting place.
They do. Hey, ladies,
They
I've just
steal
come
your
back.
woman.
I've got something that no one else here's got, a really rare STD.
Mostly get drunk and throw up everywhere,
Lots of malaria.
like everyone else
Yeah.
in Pompey.
Yeah.
I have been out on a Christmas Eve for fun and games, and everyone was in fancy dress, and then someone punched Jesus, our Jesus, which meant there ended up being a big silly street scuffle with a bunch of regular people on one side and a Christmas tree, Jesus, Scrooge, a Heineken bottle, and I think Mr. Blobby or someone on our side.
Did the person punching Jesus know who the person was, or was it just like, "Oi, Jesus"?
Pretty sure the police broke it up once they'd stopped laughing, and there was nothing.
It sounds like a fairly average night out in many towns of the UK.
Punches Jesus.
There was a je ne sais quoi about Portsmouth, which it had its own. There was a vibe.
So, as someone who spent many of my formative years in Croydon, which doesn't exactly have a glamorous reputation.
Oh wait, no, if Croydon was on this list, it's going to be under.
I was going to say, I've always maintained that like every town has an area that you just don't go to. Every town has got an area that's probably sort of more or less all right. And that, you know, these towns that do get given bad names like Croydon or perhaps Portsmouth, it's not really very fair because you can pick lovely towns and you can find places that you wouldn't go out drinking.
Most of Portsmouth, as in Portsea Island, is that bit that you don't go to. Although there are worse bits, like Somers Town is fucking awful.
I think it's been quite gentrified. So Old Portsmouth is lovely. A lot of it's just a regular place now.
Yeah.
Old Portsmouth's nice. Yeah, Old Portsmouth's always been nice.
I think Portsmouth is as bad as it used to be. Whereas Croydon, now you bring it up, was slated in a Marvel movie.
Yes.
Actually name checks.
And Only Fools and Horses, of course,
Uh,
famously.
And also, I think they opened a Wendy's or something there, one of the American chains, and then someone got stabbed on the first day.
That sounds about right.
Opened it.
And I would say for a while, Croydon was perhaps undeserving of its reputation because the town centre was quite nice. Gentrification was going on. They've got a box park. But these days, the local council really messed it up. And I went back last year and drove around it a little bit. And it's like every other building is quite nice. So some new development, but in between, it's a little bit ghettoified. It's not great.
So
and
I'm
chronic underinvestment, I would say.
I'm not going to poop on Portsmouth in
Yeah.
this episode. Actually, I'm going to rate it quite well.
I've enjoyed my time in Portsmouth, and I enjoy my friends from Portsmouth.
I might pull it down somewhat. We'll see how that goes. What was next? Next was it was chili peppers. Yeah,
Chili Peppers.
yeah, chili peppers.
Chili Peppers is a band. What do we make of them?
Food, I think we're talking about.
Well, I assume
Yeah,
food.
it's about food. Band,
not-
great, love the band.
Not the red hot chili peppers
Yeah.
that we can't
just-
talk about them.
Just chili peppers.
Yep.
Tasty. Love a good chili pepper. Bit of spice.
Not very contentious, really.
No.
I think someone's put them in there to make me rant about hot food, but I don't mind hot food so much.
I think
anymore.
someone put it on to make me or you or both of us eat a chili.
Hey,
That looks very red on my screen.
have a chomp
Yeah.
on that.
It's frozen, so I'm going to suggest we skip ahead and we do whatever the last thing was, and we'll come back to this near the end when it's hopefully unfrozen a little bit, and I'll chow down.
I want you to eat it frozen and tell me about that experience.
I don't think it'll do anything. I think if it's
Well,
frozen, it does bugger all.
I think you'll be like, oh, that's not doing anything, and it'll melt, and then you'll be like, oh.
You reckon?
Maybe. Or pop it in the microwave on defrost for 20 seconds.
I think you should eat it cold because it's weird.
You want me to just
Just right now. pop, pop.
Just give it the old tooth test. See if you can even actually.
Is
eat
it supposed to be a
frozen
hot
chili.
one?
I guess so. Small and red, dangerous, right?
Don't think you can say that anymore.
I mean, it's not a Carolina Reaper, is it?
No,
They're
they look
really.
weird.
Is it ghosts or naga? Or
They look like little alien testicles.
Eat the pepper.
How much of it?
As much as you want to chomp on. I feel you're procrastinating. Nothing's going to happen, is it? I've never really watched you chew in such detail. The lips are so mobile.
He maintains a good seal, though. He's a
He
very
does.
polite eater.
Oh yeah, don't eat with your mouth open. That should be on the list. I hate that.
Yeah.
I really hate that.
It was quite tasty. I think because it was frozen, nothing's happened.
But maybe it's all going to be delivered.
I was gonna say,
straight back in.
let's cut back in the morning.
Tune back in tomorrow and see
Yeah.
how badly this went.
You'd be singing some Johnny Cash or
We'll
something.
have a different background.
It'll just be like shit running down the screen.
We need that. 12 hours later.
I thought it was just going to be the toilet wall, not
Yeah, we'll have like
somehow shout yourself on your laptop
You could do a Casra vlog
we'll have bowl cam.
live from the toilet.
with this waterproof and poo-proof GoPro.
I
was
reckon
alright.
you could with your phone.
That was just quite tasty. That anyway, chilies, love them. Love chilies.
Yeah, I add flavour to many things.
You never used to be all right with spice though. You had a big I remember
Was that
traitor
COVID or
salad.
was it age?
Both probably.
Yeah.
I think no. What I didn't like, so I didn't really eat spicy food, but I didn't feel that other people could eat it. It didn't offend me. It's not like salted caramel, which I hate. It was that there were some people in our friendship group who thought it was fun to create foods that were not supposed to be spicy, but that were spicy.
Traitor salad, yeah.
For example, the traitor salad. So we're all there eating lovely Indian food that everyone's made as a team. We're all in a big house, like 12 people. And I'm feeling the curry's a little bit hot. Not complaining, it's very nice curry. So I'm eating the curry. I want to cool down a bit, so I eat some of the salad. And it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and more and more salad. And anyway, it turns out the salad was the hot thing and not the curry. So they betrayed me into eating too the spicy food.
That's true. True.
Uh,
Unfortunate series of events.
so it's those people in particular, Elise and Paul, who should
Yeah.
be on.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a deliberate betrayal, though. I think it was more a miscommunication. It wasn't like they set out to like, how can we punk Carl?
Who puts chilies in a fresh salad?
I think it was just some enthusiastic recipe research. and just found an intriguing and interesting recipe.
Horrible
They
people.
weren't particularly hidden because all of the other ingredients of the salad was green and the chilies were red.
I think there were tomatoes and stuff in there. It was your bog standard,
Hang on.
like leaf and cucumber and tomato
Are you
salad.
colourblind?
Yeah, but yeah.
Because green and red.
I can tell the
That's
difference
a
between
problem,
green
isn't
and
it?
red.
Oh, can you? Oh, you're not that type of colourblind.
No, I don't see in black and white.
No one sees them
On there?
We all see in colour. You're thinking of dogs.
No, that's the old Gen Z thing, isn't it? Gen Z that can't believe that they're like, oh,
The
grandparents.
Gen Z see in black and white. That I did not know.
No, it's the other way around. They're a naive, and I mean, like young Gen Z when they were like 8 or 9. There are more than one story of them asking like their grandparents, like, what was it like when the world was in black and white?
Oh, I feel really
They'd only
bad
seen it
now.
on TV.
We slated the poor Gen Zs, and they basically got a disability as a group of people, and none of them can see colours. I feel terrible.
Ignorance is not a disability.
I thought they were being all diplomatically correct when they said I don't see colour, but no.
Literally don't see colour.
It's all just beige.
No one's taking them seriously when they tell you.
Well, you think they see everything in sepia?
No, that's old people.
Yes, sorry, old people.
Oh, that's rose. They see
Rose
rose
tinted
in glasses, yeah.
But only the middle because the cataracts. No, that's horrible.
Just getting darker and darker and darker. Like someone's turned off an old cathode ray telly.
Chilies. Yeah, I think they'll do all right. I mean, they're not amazing to me, but they're not going to be slated.
They're a great way of adding flavour to food.
Are they the only way of adding heat to a meal?
I don't believe.
No, there are other spices.
Such as?
I don't know, but I'm sure
Because
Google
most other
does.
spices don't add heat, they add some kind of flavour.
Oh, that's true. I see. What you
Yeah.
mean. Well, I have a friend who says that he's, I assume, a super taster, and if you do roast potatoes and if you add rosemary to them, he tells you that they're too spicy for him.
Well, that's a prick. That is. That's.
He's a lovely friend.
We're going to research.
Yeah, are we gonna?
Because the only spice that I can think of, outside of like your literal chili flakes or your chilies that make stuff actually hotter, is paprika. But as we found out quite recently, paprika is just dried and ground up chilies. So that is still chili.
Also, isn't paprika what is commonly used to create barbecue flavour? Like, aren't barbecue flavour crisps often actually just paprika?
Smoked paprika, you sometimes get quite a bit of those, yeah. Yeah, I wonder if in the same way that the sun is the source of all life, are chilies the source of all heat?
Oh, ginger?
It's not really a heat, it's more a pep, isn't it? Like
I feel like if you eat raw ginger, there's definitely some kick to it.
Horseradish.
wasabi. Yeah.
This list, what I found, says horseradish, ginger, peppercorns, wasabi,
Yeah,
curry
yeah.
powder.
Curry
that's
powder.
pepper.
is mostly-
Sichuan,
yeah.
So different types of peppers.
mustard seed, mustard.
Mustard. Yeah, good call.
So yes is the short answer. And none of it's quite the same, but there's definitely things in there that are hot, spicy.
Interesting. So chilies, we're pretty ambivalent. We like them. They're good. Yeah.
That's not ambivalent. I think we're neutral. Ambivalent, we have two different feelings about.
No, doesn't ambivalent mean you couldn't give a shit?
I don't think so.
Is it not? I'm going to look that up. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. Ambivalent. How am I spelling it?
Ambivalent.
Nothing to do with valency or
ambivalent meaning. Ambivalent meaning. Oh yeah, you're right. Mixed feelings or contradictory ideas about something or someone. Yeah.
We're not having a word of the week at this rate. Flash it up.
The example sentence is: some loved her, some hated her, a few were ambivalent about her.
We'll put it on the word of the day, Casro toilet paper.
Yeah.
Coming soon to a B&M near you.
Let's make it waterproof and reusable.
Why is it going to B&M? We're selling ourselves short there.
John Lewis?
Yeah, well, you've gone the other end there, haven't you? Much like people will be doing with our loo roll. Hey!
I feel like B&M should probably be on the wheel as well, actually. They're an interesting shop.
Never been.
Have you not? Oh, I feel like you should go to a B&M. You should go on an expedition.
I think you first went to an Aldi last year.
I mean, they're sort of almost the grown-up equivalent of like a Toys R Us. They're like as a grown-up, they're a fun shop to wander around because they've got so many different things. Yeah.
I mean, since I'd be happy in a Toys R Us or a Smith's, then a grown-up one may work.
I saw a sign.
Rather
for
go to Toys
today.
R Us.
You know, Toys R Us went down the Swanee some time ago.
Did indeed.
Saw a sign for Toys R Us. Apparently, Toys R Us is now a thing again, but it's in WH Smith's.
I think
What?
in the UK, it didn't. The UK business was okay, and it got dragged down by it fading in the States.
Oh, I thought
It definitely
failed.
went.
I thought it failed over here, but stayed in the
I
States.
thought it was okay here. I think the name may have stayed in the States or got bought out, but like the
okay.
death of the company, because I think Smith's probably took it all over here.
Yeah, I do enjoy a good Smiths.
Smith's is a good toy shop.
It's good fun. Yeah.
But does it have Toys in a Million all under one roof? Actually, yeah, it does. That's the whole point of Smith's.
It doesn't have millions of Jeffrey.
No.
All right, what's the third thing?
The third thing was, it was Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Under Siege
Let's
is a great movie.
set the scene for people who haven't seen it. It's the Missouri.
The shit, not
Yes,
the...
yeah, not the state. It's the Missouri. It's
Wait,
been,
no, is there a state, Missouri? And a river? There's both, right?
isn't the river the
Mississippi?
Mississippi?
Wait.
Phones ahoy!
But yeah, we're on the Missouri, and it's a final voyage before getting decommissioned. And Casey Ryback, God bless him, played by the. There is a river.
It's a state and a river.
State and a river.
And in fact, the Missouri flows into the Mississippi.
There you go.
All of us were right.
Casey Ryback's on board, played by Steven Seagal, and load of baddies turn up and they try and take over the ship, but they didn't count.
Chief O'Brien from Deep Space Nine.
That's true. That's true. And old
Yeah.
Gary Busey, who has not aged well.
He wasn't as nuts then. He's mental now.
Oh, and of course, the excellent Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who for a long time I used to get confused with Tommy Lee. I thought they were the same person. And I was like, kudos to you, Tommy Lee Jones, quite old man, for bagging yourself Pamela Anderson back in her heyday. But no, not the same person.
No, not the same. Not the same person.
That's what I was thinking of. Under Siege has the MP5K in it as well,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
as a little nerdy kid, that was quite an appeal to me.
Is that the one he gives to Thingy, what's her name, who was in Baywatch? The one who gets her lovely jubblies out in the film.
Yes.
And he gives her the gun and he goes, it's got automatic or semi-automatic. Automatic means you press the trigger and loads of bullets go off. And semi-automatic means you pull the trigger and one goes off. That's what I want to give you. I want you to fire one bullet every time you pull the trigger. And that's almost a direct quote.
I feel like I was watching Under Siege then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just lacking the ponytail.
And
You
the
would-
questionable political views.
Well, but maybe they came later.
Did he have a physique then? Did Seagal have...
There was one scene where he took his top off. It was when he was making the condom bomb. Condom bomb, and it was really hot because he was steaming the explosive out of the warhead, and so he took his top off, and she was impressed. Yeah,
But were we?
yeah. I mean,
Genuinely don't remember.
she was stood right there with the massive bleps, so I wasn't really focusing on Casey Ryback so much.
Yeah. Or his condom antics.
Well, yeah. There's a look. When he's doing that, he pulls out a condom out of his pocket and like tears it open because he needs to put it over the bomb thing to like seal it in that, right? So he takes the condom out, he rips it open, and he takes the condom out, and there's a look. She sort of looks at him and goes like, "Yeah."
Are you sure it's not a look of why doesn't active duty Navy chef have a condom in his pocket?
Because he's Casey Ryback.
Because he's in the active Navy. I expect most of them.
Those stolen moments on gangways.
What? No.
There's this
Anyway.
look which is like, why are you using that condom on the bomb when you could be using it on me, Steven Seagal? Yeah.
Well, planet to say. What was their goal? What was the terrorists' goal?
They wanted to sell the nukes. They wanted to offload the nukes, Tomahawks, and because there were, I think, 20 special Tomahawks on board, and they wanted to offload them.
There used to be nuke Tomahawks.
Yeah, they want to offload them using the railing system through Broadway, and offload them to a sub, which was supposedly blown up by Gary Busey and his bunch of CIA mentalists. But in fact, they made a deal with the Russian sub commander, and so they were going to stick the nukes on the sub.
Russian?
Yeah, I think he was Russian. I think it was a Korean sub that they hadn't sunk, but the captain of it was some Russian bloke they knew.
I remember it's like weirdly South American.
I don't think he was South American.
I'm beginning to wonder if Hunt for the Red October and Under Siege could be put in the same cinematic universe.
Well, Gary Busey went on to try and catch a predator after this movie. So,
well, that just takes it back to paedophiles.
But Gary Busey also gets blown up on the submarine in this film.
He must survive and go and carries on working in the CIA in LA, wherever Predator 2 is.
Yeah, Concrete Jungle.
LA, yeah. What other films has Gary Busey done? We're getting off topic.
Gary Busey should be on there because he's nuts.
Was he? He wasn't 48 Hours, was he? That was Nick Nolte. Yeah, I always get the two confused.
They could be a good Two-Face kind of.
Who was the bloke in Point Break who wasn't Keanu Reeves? Was that Gary Busey?
I don't know, but he did Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
What?
Busey? Yeah, Busey's in that apparently. Predator 2. He's in a film called Man-Eater as well. It's not Universal Soldier 2, Brothers in Arms.
But Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon apparently. Yep.
Anyway, that's not Under Siege, which is the movie which we are rating.
Sorry, I do.
Oh no, he is. He is in Lethal Weapon. He's the guy who Mel Gibson has the fight on the lawn with the sprinklers going off at the end of the film. Yeah.
He was also in Piranha 3DD.
Yeah, that's because it was
Under Siege.
Under Siege. Great film.
Great film.
Defining action movies of my youth, I guess. I don't know why I taken out at that time. When was it released?
I want to say 92. That's a guess. It was definitely a movie that was a significant sexual awakening for me, because I think it was the first time I'd seen boobs in a movie.
And it was VHS.
Yeah, and so you could pause it.
Oh, it is 92. Go you.
Shout.
Thank you. But yeah, when she comes out of the cake and she's got her eyes closed and she's like, wow, wow, wow.
Right, I'm going to call out Under Siege has approximately 10 to 12 seconds of boobs.
Yeah, but really good boobs. And 92, we were, what old were we? Like 11 and 12?
Well, boobs weren't exactly accessible back then because as Gen X/Y didn't have the internet then. On the cusp.
No, the internet was we definitely didn't have it.
But when we were kids,
also like 90 minutes of asses being kicked in a really fun way.
When we were kids, just to go back to that, porn, it wasn't internet. Porn came from the woods, railway sidings, and the dunes at the beach. That's where porn grew.
And possibly Channel 4 really weirdly in the middle of the night, and it would be odd and European.
Eurotrash, yes.
Eurotrash, yes.
Yeah. Or there was another channel that had
Channel 5 used to have like a late night film on a Friday.
This was pre-Channel 5, Mike.
Yeah,
this was. You keep your millennial bullshit to yourself.
The difference 3 years, mate.
Spreadsheet Kidd is definitely a millennial.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, 100%.
I think I consider myself an elder millennial, but very much
that makes
millennial
it
rather than
all weird and fantastical.
No, because they subdivide generations, right?
I'm one of the elder millennials.
Like a big flowing grey robe with a hood.
No, that's just for the cult.
Really good movie. It's an honest, no-nonsense action flick where the hero is not particularly challenged.
No,
he beats the toffee out of everyone.
Yeah.
The fight in the end versus Tommy Lee Jones does feel a little bit lopsided.
Is that the knife fight?
That's the one where he finishes it by sticking a knife into the top of his head, and he says, "Keep the faith, Stranix," which is cool.
But it is a bit like Seagal is a big guy.
Yeah.
Tommy Jones is not a big guy, and also he looked old as toffee even in this movie.
Tommy Lee Jones did have a gun.
Not for very long, I don't think.
No, because he's old and shit, and his arthritis. He's like, "I've got you now, Ryback. Oh, my arthritis!" And he dropped it.
There was a bit of a sort of sense of like honor between protagonists, wasn't there? Of like, no, we're going to do this with knives. And didn't
There
Tommy
was-
Lee like a big sort
I
of
think
combat
he
knife?
was a knife guy, wasn't he, in
Yeah.
the movie?
There was like an unspoken thing where you find out earlier in the film that Casey had been busted down to chef because he punched out his intelligence officer in like Panama.
Yep.
And there's this sort of like unspoken thing that he knows Tommy Lee Jones's character. He calls him Sir, and he's like, and there's this sort of like, well, was he the intelligence officer who Casey punched out?
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
if I think I thought it was more just that like once Tommy Lee Jones knew who Ryback was, there was kind of that aspect of, oh, you're not just a chef, you are worthy of my respect.
Now I do want to
Kind
watch
of like
it.
in The Rock
I
as
watch
well.
it in 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's out in 4K, I'll get hold of a copy
Add it
and
to the
we'll do a sesh.
Yep.
Under Siege
I'll be up for that.
4K.
Mm. You know a film that's not out in 4K, I can almost guarantee you, Under Siege 2. Let's do Under Siege, but on a train. Okay.
I'm not
So
even
we're going to bring back all the original cast? Nope.
Not even sure it's on Blu-ray. Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Okay, it is on Blu-ray. Oh, wait, uncensored. It was censored?
Yeah, the TV version, you didn't see him get stabbed in the head at the end.
Oh, 12.
Only a 12. Gosh.
Oh, like, that's still how.
Oh no, flowed up.
It might be that you can only get a Blu-ray of Under Siege and Under Siege 2 twin pack. You have to have the second one.
I'd sort of be okay with that.
Like,
Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reference, Under Siege 2 is exactly the same as Under Siege 1, but it's on a train.
It's on a train. Yeah.
It's like how with Speed they went, what should we move from?
was
We did the bus, now we'll put it on a...
Was Under Siege I can't think of the right term for it, but was it sort of the first of its kind? Because you get Under Siege 2, but then you get things like Broken Arrow with Christian Slater and John
Great
Travolta.
film. Love that film.
Really, I really enjoyed that.
It's
As
an
a
action movie.
But is
Just
there,
a-
would we say it's a specific genre?
It's just
A good boat-based action movie. If
Yeah.
anything, it is part of the Die Hard genre because it's Die Hard on a boat.
Yeah.
Like Speed, Die Hard in a bus.
You just push the ratings of Under Siege way down.
Oh, Speed's Die Hard on a bus. Because there's not much actually happening on the bus, is
No,
there?
but now I want to see John McClane on a train.
But there were a lot of films after Die Hard that were basically like Die Hard in a taxi, Die Hard on a boat.
They're
Die
all
Hard.
action films. They're just action films. There's always been action films.
But it was like one guy against all the bad guys.
I think, again, there's always been action films.
That is most action films. Yeah.
And it has the trope of a useless SWAT team just getting murdered at the start to show you just how bad the bad
Does. Yeah.
They all fly in
There's a
shotgun. It's really
SEALs.
sad.
SEALs team gets blown up. SEALs team doesn't even get to the boat.
No,
Yeah.
they fly in a helicopter and they go, oh no, we've been locked up by the anti-aircraft fire, and then they get shot down.
Oh, it's not anti-air. Well, it's because they've disabled the no, the AWACS are gone. They disabled that. The chopper gets shot down by a bloke stood on the deck with a
The
with
Stinger?
Oh, it's a Sea Whiz.
no, the chopper's not.
What's
The
that?
there's a
Who's saying
plane.
blocking up?
There's an F-16, I think, or something like that turns up to find out where the helicopter from the start that had all of the catering crew are. He gets shot down by Sea Whiz, but then Casey and Casey's mates fuck up all the electrics. So the bald guy in the ops center gets really, oh no. And so that's why they think that the SWAT team can come and land properly, but they don't, because the bloke goes out with a stinger or a law, I guess, and like shoots the crap out of it from the duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl's found the.
We'll find the actual shoot down.
Yeah.
Well, there's your submarine.
Yeah. Korean sub.
There's a sub shooting down. Wait, is this the end helicopter or something? Oh, maybe I've got the wrong helicopter. I know.
This makes for great viewing, watching you watch a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Saying.
You
You
are,
can live stream this at this point.
you are being proved right though.
Yeah, he gets blown up with a stinger.
It's like a stinger or similar.
Yeah.
Or what was the Russian one? A
Wait,
Strela?
I thought they got shot down right at the start.
No, there's the MiG, not the MiG, the F. I want to say F-16, but I'm not sure if it is. Gets shot down at the start because it does a flyby to find out what's going on, and they lock him up with the Seawiz, and they go.
But do they get him with a Seawiz?
Yeah, he gets Seawized.
Ah, that's why I'm right. Okay, so you're right.
Which is an unusual.
But someone
use
did
of
get
a
Seawiz.
Someone gets Seawized.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's closing. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
good film.
Yeah.
good film. Good film. Love it. What order are we putting those three things in?
Portsmouth, Under Siege, and Chili Peppers.
Yes. For me, it's Portsmouth, Chili Peppers, Under Siege. Bad to good.
I think I would go Portsmouth, Chili Peppers, Under Siege. I'm very non-committed on those two.
Oh.
No, Portsmouth, Under Siege, Chili Peppers.
Really?
Yeah.
You prefer Chili Peppers to Under Siege, arguably one of the best Die Hard in a Boat films ever.
Wait, what order are you going in?
I'm going the worst thing out of those three is Portsmouth.
I was going with the best thing.
Then I'm going Chili Peppers, kind of in the middle.
No,
And then I'm going Under Siege is the best of the three.
I'm taking Portsmouth over both things.
All right. Not that any of that matters, because the real, measure of the thing comes when we slot them into the list.
Does
So
Kid get to rate, or does he just observe, like the big head guys in Marvel?
he just observes. It's yeah,
I'm a watcher.
That
watcher.
Having not sampled all the beers or partaken in the conversations of the other 6 items.
Oh, yeah, but no one here has a valid opinion. It's all just made up.
Yeah.
Oh, we have valid opinions.
You all should see the argument we started with saying about whales and the scientifically totally fairly called out explained whale families of toothed whales and baleen whales, and people still don't believe it in the geek
True.
group.
It's true. And those people are idiots. Looking at you, Summers. You bastard.
Are you sure you want to piss off your one viewer?
Oh, we piss him off every episode. The things we've
Right.
called him. Jesus.
He's stuck now because he drives the van.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
maybe
Stop,
if I can
stop
hold
hiring our
it,
fans.
We should add Blue-Eyed Samurai to the wheel.
I do want to watch Blue.
I'd quite like to watch it at some
so
point.
passionate about it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any TV.
I don't want to watch it purely because I know not watching it pisses him off.
Right, Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. Okay. Do you want to take this one?
Where would I put it? Portsmouth. I would kind of drop in between Hazy Jane Peach and Old IPA.
Mhm. Portsmouth. I would like to put Portsmouth below Arcade Made. Partly because I want to bump up Arcade Made, and partly because it is one of the only places in my life that I've fled.
I'm going to point out that because of the way I'm rating this, I can agree with it to go under Arcade Made. It's going to drag down Under Siege Chili Peppers for you.
Yeah, you're right. But if you want it to go below Arcade Made, then it's not going to happen. If I put it the wrong side of Arcade Made and you're sticking with where you just said, it's going to end up somewhere around the Black Heart area.
I'm just saying, because I'm not deeply passionate about any of these, so I'll gladly take the hit on the Chili Peppers and the Under Siege.
All right. Well, okay. So I'm going to go Portsmouth between Hot Frenzy and Arcade Made for me.
I mean, Frenzy and Arcade Made.
And where are you putting it?
And I had it up at Old Deeper.
So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
I think this is around Dead Pony Club.
Yeah, sort of between Dead Pony Club and Black Heart, I think.
For the poetry, I'll agree, and we just put it just under Shore Leave because that's about sailors and stuff.
All right, just under Shore Leave. Portsmouth between Punk IPA and Shore Leave. Done. Next,
If I could just pick the historic dockyard, it'd be much higher.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Actually, the seafront's pretty cool as well. I think
No, it's not. The seafront's ropey as hell.
you haven't been back in a long time.
It's got no sand. The water is, if you swim in the water, you come out with an extra ear and a condom hung off of it.
How did you get through the surface layer?
Well, that's true. Yeah, you can walk on the foam.
Makes everyone Jesus. What was next? Chili peppers or Under Siege?
Next up was chili peppers.
Chili peppers. I'll put them under arcade made.
Oh, really? I bloody love a chili pepper. Think of it this way. If it wasn't for chili peppers, with the few exceptions that we mentioned earlier, there wouldn't be any spicy food.
Well, I don't seek out spicy food. I kind of like Korean spicy noodles, but if they were taken away from me, I wouldn't be devastated.
You enjoy some spicy food. You like a Mexican.
Again, but if I could never have Mexican again, I wouldn't be hugely devastated.
Whereas if I couldn't have curry or a Mexican, that would be a big problem for me. Particularly curry.
Where do you want to put the chili peppers?
I would put chili peppers. I don't think chili peppers are as good as Top Gun Maverick. I think I would put chili peppers between Clockwork and Hazy Jane.
So I had them just under arcade, and you had them between Clock and Hazy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where are you putting it?
So it's got to be around Elf Lager then.
Between Elf and Hazy Jane, go have that.
Well, I would rather have it under the Elf Lager because Elf was the end of a wonderful story for me.
Yeah, because we'd seen it earlier in the calendar, really wanted it, and then
like a Christmas miracle, it was there.
it turned up on Christmas Eve.
Along with Jackhammer.
All right, let's put it between Blackheart and Elf.
Done.
Chilies, boss. Lastly, Under Siege. I fucking love Under Siege.
It's a better military movie than Top Gun Maverick, so I think we should.
You know what? I don't think it's a more authentic Top Gun military movie than Top Gun
What I
Maverick.
like about Under Siege is it shows you the journey.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it doesn't. It just says he's really dangerous because of mysterious history.
Yeah, and then you find out he's
Fallible, because that's your big deal with Maverick, isn't it?
Oh, Maverick, yeah, he has no faults in Maverick. Like, at all. Even when they should be very legitimate old man faults.
But I feel
His
that
car could have exploded.
so Carl's problem with Maverick, it's not really applicable to Under Siege though, because I think his big problem is that you had Top Gun and then you had Top Gun Maverick, and we're asked to believe that loads of shit happened in between, whereas nothing came before Under Siege. So
It does though, kind of, because they allude to his. He does the mysterious stranger.
all they say is he's a SEAL, and then it's like, oh yeah, he got angry and punched someone, and now he's a chef.
And like the chief of Joint Ops and stuff goes, "Oh, Casey Ryback's there. I'll be fine."
Oh yeah, no, that's true. The guy in the room around the
He's
yeah,
like the most
yeah.
dangerous guy in the United States.
I agree with you. It should go above.
With the spoon.
Should go above Maverick.
No, it shouldn't. What?
You said it should. You said Under Siege should go above Maverick.
Yeah, because I was hoping to get a reaction from you.
No, I'm with you. I reckon it should go above Top Gun Maverick.
I don't think it should.
Really? You don't think Under Siege is better than Top Gun Maverick?
No, it's subjectively not.
Are fighter jets cooler than battleships, or are battleships cooler than fighter jets?
Ooh.
Battleships are cooler. I prefer battleships. Oh, the film Battleship needs to go on this list.
Oh, it does. Just because of the Thunderstruck moment.
It's Thunderstruck.
All right, I'm going to pitch Under Siege as not quite as. No, I don't want to put it above Jackhammer. I'm going to put it between Top Gun Maverick and Jackhammer. Mm-hmm. In the what will start to be known as the military fiction section.
I would put it just below England.
Okay.
So that, where does that take us?
Well, that puts us in between Clockwork and Hazy Jane. Yeah.
Yep. In between Clockwork and Hazy Jane.
So it's
Cool,
not
cool.
going to break into the top 10.
Broken into top 10. Yeah.
No,
Has
it
it?
hasn't.
It's not.
Oh, nearly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I like this list because when I look at the top things, they're all things that I really like.
Yeah. And when I look at the bottom of the list, they're all things that I thought were fucking disgusting.
Yeah. And then there's a big melange of mediocrity in the middle.
The melange of media.
With the much maligned Arcade Maid and the much overhyped Silk Road.
This proves it was bad to come out early for Arcade Maid, but good to come out early for the Silk Road.
If we were to, not that we can, because all decisions are final, but if we swapped Arcade Maid and Silk Road, I'd be like, yep.
Why? Why Silk Road?
I'd be like, yeah, that tracks. That's where those should be.
I don't understand why it's the way it is.
There you go. And the spreadsheet is updated.
Spreadsheet
But
Kidd
it is, as things stand, that Silk Road, that average beer that we sort of thought was all right, is better than all Wales.
No, you've now rated 40 things.
Wow.
That's half of over.
Oh, no,
half
sorry,
of
that
it.
includes some of the dishonourable mentions, though. So it's actually only 36 things total.
I hope we get to talk about Darnell.
He is on there. We should do a bit of research.
Wow, Wales. Really, the Silk Road is.
Silk Road is
Wales are
better
the
than
8th best thing in the road.
I think I
the
need to-
entire concept of Wales. Like every single species of whale.
So
Silk
we're
Road.
saying that we're cool with whaling as long as we get some Silk Road.
Apparently. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, we should probably go. This has been a really long episode.
As awesome.
Dead long.
33% longer.
Yeah. Well, because he's an extra person. There we go.
What time we're at? An hour and a quarter almost.
15 minutes was not recorded because it was Chatterall.
True.
There was bullshit.
It was about 5 minutes before it starts.
Long awkward break in the middle while you went to find some chili and
Yeah.
It's gone longer.
Yeah. I was gone for quite
Has
a while.
anything happened?
Did what?
Has any chili happened?
any spice.
I'm fine. I'm good. I'll let you know how things go tomorrow morning, though.
Please do.
I will. I'll include photos.
Please don't.
No, no.
Right, let's go.
Is that better or worse than at least just posting dicks all over Discord now?
Why is she doing that?
I don't know. Bifurcated penises seem to be the.
Don't Google echidna dicks.
No,
Echidna.
God, no. Oh
Echidna-
my God.
Echidna? It's echidna, right?
Echidna dicks. Bad.
They're
Yeah.
weird.
You know, often people say my penis looks like a baby's arm. Well, an echidna dick actually looks like a baby's arm.
But it's grasping.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm troubled.
And on that note,
Goodbye.
bye bye.